So, what are your thoughts on the Chubb trade?
I mean, Keenan Allen and Henderson and what is it, like a 14th or no, a 10th
Yeah.
for Chubb and a 14th. I don't know. I mean, I went to acquire him a couple of days before that, and
Many times.
I thought it was a better deal than that, honestly. But I don't know. Whatever makes the fantasy owner happy, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. So, what do you think he's actually worth?
I mean, he was a first-round pick, so
Yeah.
not the two guys he got.
Starting a new segment for week 3, Attaboy. This is fantasy players in the previous week who had great performances. I'm just going to start off with Graham Gano of the New York Giants, putting up the most fantasy points for a kicker.
Yeah, huge.
Just a solid outing.
A couple 50-yarders, right?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then I'm going to follow that up with Cooper Kupp. I mean, I'm not saying who saw that coming, but
Great performance with Matt Stafford.
amazing. Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 120-something yards. I mean, he might be fighting for that wide receiver 1 spot in that on that team.
Definitely.
And,
Yep.
we could see him boosting some fantasy teams this year.
Yeah. Next we have Aaron Jones.
The dog.
What a game in week 2. Lit
Aaron
up
Jones,
the Packers offense.
Aaron Jones he owns week 2.
Oh,
Last year he had 40 plus points.
most yards and points for week 2.
Yeah.
Just looked fantastic. Who do you got next?
I mean, aside from Derrick Henry too.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, yeah. Now we got Kyler Murray. He's continuing to, show a little bit of improvement. I mean, he throws a little bit of picks. He does dabble in the turnovers, but
He just
when
looks
you have
so good.
when you have that many touchdowns, rushing and throwing, I mean, what are you gonna do? I would have to give him an attaboy for this week.
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. Finally, my boy of the New York Giants, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he went off. He did.
He looked really good. I know Daniel Jones gets a lot of hate, but the team around him just didn't want to play it week 2. So Daniel Jones ran that offense, and he had a hell of a game.
Quite literally, I think he almost had 100 rushing yards.
95 rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, he looked great that week. There's a lot of haters for Daniel Jones. I personally am, on the...
You're on the fence?
I'm on the fence with him. I'm not sure if he could really lead a team like the Giants. Maybe he could lead a better team with better talent.
Or an offensive line?
With a line to start. But, I think he's decent. He definitely has wheels. He's just one of those quarterbacks that, will give you some good games sometimes. I wouldn't recommend starting him in any fantasy leagues. But, I would say this loss was definitely not on him.
No.
So, jumping right into the trades from this week, we've had a bunch. Definitely more than we had last week, surprisingly. But, we're going to open this up with some fun facts. In these trades from this week, the top 3 picks in the first round this year are on different teams.
Kind of crazy to see that happen.
Top
Normally,
3, yeah.
the top 3 players on their team run their team.
For the year.
The key pieces, yeah.
Unless they're injured or something like that. But
Exactly,
yeah. 6 out of 12. So exactly 1/2 of their first rounders have been traded.
That's really crazy. Not something you see in any other league but ours.
Definitely not. And finally, 2 first rounders are on one team right now.
Yeah.
That's Sean's.
Pretty good roster.
Pretty
right
crazy, yeah. One of the top 3 picks, Dalvin Cook, was on Mason's team until yesterday, the 23rd. He dealt him to Jenny for Patrick Mahomes, Gibson, and Godwin. The rest of the deal will be right here. All around a decent trade, but still crazy to see a top 3
there. I know.
pick.
It's something you don't normally say.
Speaking of top 3, Alvin Kamara was on the move.
Alvin Kamara got moved this week by me. He was my first-round pick. Decided to make a big-time trade. Trading Alvin Kamara to Sean's team for Kyler Murray.
MVP candidate.
MVP candidate.
He's the guy.
Along with Deebo Samuel. And
Deebo's showing off.
Deebo's having a great season.
And then Damian Harris, too.
And Damian Harris.
I think it's decent.
I think it's a pretty damn good trade.
What'd you give up? You gave up Rodgers and Kamara?
I gave up Rodgers and Kamara. That's it.
I mean, pretty equal. I mean, Kamara's a big name, so
Yeah, Kamara's good, but
maybe we give it to Sean a little bit for getting that. But I feel like you get a lot of solid pieces.
Oh
in that
yeah,
trade.
Definitely.
So
Getting the number one quarterback in fantasy right now.
Yeah.
For Rodgers, who's obviously one of the top 3 quarterbacks, and then Kamara, who is not playing like himself because Jameis is the quarterback.
Yeah.
So
And we'll list some of the other random trades that happened this week. Some that I did, I got a couple bench pieces. I upgraded my running back. I got Montgomery, solid trade. It'll also be right up there. And some other deals. A bunch happened though.
Very busy week in fantasy.
I would say so.
A lot to cover.
A crazy thing that happened within 1 week. Alex traded away, and then traded for Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
He knows what he's doing. He, it's his destiny. But that's crazy. I've never seen someone trade away.
No, definitely not.
And then trade back.
Yeah.
But he didn't even get the pieces back.
Chubb is home.
I was gonna say, and top 3 crazy trades that happened already. The first one, Kuhn trades away Chubb for Darrell Henderson
Kind of interesting.
and Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, top 5.
But for Darrell Henderson.
Yeah.
Number 2, Sean acquires Alvin Kamara.
And Rodgers.
Yep. From Johnny for Kyler, Debo, and Harris. Number 3, Sean deals the number 1 pick.
Christian McCaffrey.
Just
Who's also
recently got
injured.
hurt.
Yeah.
To Russ for Tyreek Hill and Henderson, which was a part of the Chubb deal.
Yeah, he must be feeling good about that right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not having an injured number 1 pick on your team, getting some fresh legs in.
Yeah,
it feels good.
And I mean, he dodged that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, he also traded Chubb back to Kuhn.
Yeah, kind of
for
interesting.
Ridley and Lamar. The details will be right there.
Another huge trade
For him.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that pans out for Kuhn. But Sean he's eating up this trade market right now.
Yeah, he's wheeling and dealing this week.
I mean, it could turn out really well for him.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people behind him with good competition. Sophia's team is on the come up. 186 points last week.
Crazy.
That only happens
Very impressive.
once or twice a year.
Yeah.
She's that one. And she's already expected to do well this week with Sam Darnold dropping 30 on Thursday Night Football. Sophia. Jenny made a trade for Cook.
Yeah.
Me and you were up there, I would say. Jake has a solid team. I mean, there's a lot of competitors for that spot. I mean,
know.
6 playoff teams. So we'll see how that
narrow
goes.
it down somehow.
It's only week 3. We'll see. Here are the standings and power rankings for last week. Now for the game of the week.
Get your popcorn ready, everybody.
Me versus Alex. Let's go. 2nd and 3rd place last year. Long-time rivals. Let's get it, Alex.
Let's do
show
it.
them what we can do. Hoo, hoo.
That wraps up this week's episode of For Fantasy's Sake.
Yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And follow our Twitter if you would like constant sport updates, updates on the videos, and sports opinions. Take care.